in your case, for a person who does, like I say, 100x in a year, there's something that your brain is doing that's kind of synthesizing different thoughts together, you know?
Mhm.
And it's allowing you to have a certain view on the world and also opportunities as well. There's something about your relationship and view of money where it's more detached than normal. You have some of this like um, view of like odds and probabilities where a lot of people tend to be binary, where it's like either yes or no. You know,
Mhm.
you see things more blended and
Mhm.
more. There's a deep another level, and this is the thing. Most people see it as this level. It's like yes or no, right?
Yeah.
Tesla up or down, whatever, right? There's
Yeah.
another level where there's actually multiple scenarios, and each scenario carries like a different weighting. Another thing is you look at kind of the psychology of people and the psychology of investors and markets, and you're able to piece together these things and how they impact certain kind of outcomes. And I think
Yeah.
again, that's kind of quite natural for you as well.
I put myself in other people's shoes a lot, and I feel like, okay, if I'm the CEO of this company, am I going to risk, my job for creating an EV, sacrificing the union jobs for this or that, so there's things like that. Yeah, I definitely all the different actor, variables, the people that make the decisions. I try to figure out what their incentives are.
Still, another kind of interesting angle is I
Mhm.
think there's something about your view on gambling. Like you have this keen awareness that certain bets can be life changing.
If some investors give me money, I might just hold a lot of it in cash for a while until it might be a while before I see the next
Mhm.
big,
Sure,
10x possibility. Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, I have seen some of these, but you don't know when they're going to come up. When sometimes they just hit you like a ton of bricks. And I've seen this a lot in the hedge fund industry, especially, or just like on Seeking Alpha or wherever you go, you see people kind of practicing their craft of telling these stories in the finance world with research, right? And most people don't beat the market, right? Why is that, right? And most people can't beat the market, and I think they just can't figure out what's true and what's not. Yet they create
Mhm.
these interesting ideas that people somehow gravitate towards. So I've decided I'd rather focus on being able to decide what's true and what's not true, so I can act on it and reap the benefits.
How do you discern what's true and what's not, right? So you have
Hmm.
this fancy story of this, potential really speculative stock that's going to supposedly shoot to the moon,
Yeah.
and like, how do you digest it? How do you, take it apart? What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is you have to be skeptical of everything someone's saying. Someone's just trying to sell their story, and so you have to be just naturally skeptical. And I look to their performance first, like what's their track record? Do they have a great return? Have they done well? If they've made a lot of mistakes in the past, then their track record's not good, right? And so that's what I would look at, is just the performance. And no matter how good the story looks, if they haven't walked the walk and successfully, then their talk is nonsense to me, most likely.
And you've had like a ton of success with a lot of super moves, and I think
Mhm.
like people don't realize like in some ways like I think your LLC you started at the beginning of the year was like 100,000 you put into it,
Yeah,
and you grew it to what 8 million or something or
it's actually 11 million.
11 million. Okay, so 100,000 to let's say 10 million just for the sake of rounding it. So you've
And if Tesla was a zero, it would still be like 2.5 million. Even if
okay,
Tesla was a zero, the whole, like, if all, that's the majority, my highest conviction name, the majority of it now.
yeah,
But yeah, it's still done very well
yeah.
even without
You did
Tesla.
a bunch of other bets. I think it was with
Hmm.
Square and Peloton and a few others.
We know the people who are the smartest on a certain niche. If we can understand half of, or 60 or 70% of what they're saying, then that's the best we can do. But it's impossible to like understand all of it.